Subscribe to Facetv Africa and turn the notification on. Facetv Africa, subscribe, hete.
Facetv was Swoby.
Take it easy. One of my street, which I feel personally is unnecessary, is unwarranted. When the man says he's coming, giving the benefit of the doubt. I have led Effcc, and the best I could give, I've given. Therefore, every question, whatever they need to ask today, I would be able to respond appropriately.
We are all here to stand in complete solidarity with our friend and brother. And as you can see, as His Excellency said, he is going in hale and hearty and strong. We trust God and we believe that he will come out the same way, and that the authorities will take note of the fact that the international community and the whole world is watching what is going to happen here and what they're going to do to him.
Just a moment.
Nothing must happen to
Just
him.
a moment. I want to add to what Chief Fayose has said. This is a country governed by rule of law, not by rule of the tongue. We are not in the Hobbesian state of nature, where life was short, nasty, and brutish, where gangsterism reigns supreme. Thomas Jefferson, ex-American president, once said, "You know a good government when the government fears the people, but when the people fear their government, then there is tyranny." Yes. Nigeria is in tyranny today, and there is a need for us to remove this tyranny from us. Fayose is here. He has reported to Effcc.
Let me close by saying, nobody should be afraid of the Effcc.
Yes. No way.
Especially when you have nothing to hide.
Absolutely.
Yes. I remain courageous for Nigeria, and I will stand in the space for Nigeria, because this country belongs to all of us. Yes, and we must take our country.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Boss.
He's the regular customer of the house.
He won't come in. I brought him.
He must go. He must go in. He must go in. He should go in. He must go in.
I'm his chief lawyer. I'm now telling you who to go. 1, 2, 3. No, sir.
I'm a lawyer. What's the problem? Mr. Man, what's the problem?
The list you are talking about, that 50 personalities in Nigeria put on travel ban, though we don't know the names. It is when the names comes out that we can now know exactly what is happening, whether it is political or it is real. So let us wait for the list. Though the presidency is saying that they are not coming out with the list, that they want to give them the list. So it is advised better for them to give us the list so we can know what is happening. But on a clear note, if those people put on travel ban are people that are going to hamper the progress of Nigeria, that are going to destroy the 2019 election, it is good. Then on a very clear message that Buhari himself should sit down. Buhari has disappointed most of what are his supporters. Any corrupt man should be dealt with from all phases of life. So that is my own agenda, and that the name, want to see the name so that we can now decide whether it is political or it is real. If not, ordinary person will say what is going to say is political. They will read a different meaning to it, and it may mean well for the country. That's my submission. This way.
That is fighting the opposition. If happen that is not fighting the opposition, he must supposed to include in Obanikoro and supposed to include in Akpabio. And for that, even though he's supposed to release the name is supposed to from the judiciary, because the case already, many of them case already is in judiciary. It is judiciary that is supposed to release the case. It's not the executive first. There another thing that we know that it is fighting the opposition. If you are a corrupt person and you defect from one party to the APC, they can never arrest you again, because you are born again. Maybe APC people, they may not a thief, but I see many people that they are corrupt there, but their name cannot include. Thank you. I expect some name like Ojos Okalo. Yeah. The way he run Abia State is what we don't expect. Ojos Okalo and other governors like this is a governor of Akwa Ibom, former governor of Akwa State, Akpabio. I expect them to be persecuted. They are the one we expected to be there. Other ones I can't remember, but the ones I can call now, I remember them now. These two governors, former governor of Abia State and Akwa Ibom State, Akpabio. Thank you very much. Thank you. Federal government has not mentioned anybody. What he was saying is that out of 50 people, the VIP people, that is very important people that have case with Effcc, should stay in Nigeria, that there's no travel. And we have seen different type of them. Number one, we have somebody like Desiana. He's part of VIP, and when he went to abroad, and he has a lot of money laundering in his cupboard. So what federal government was doing, they say he didn't fight for corruption. He want to fight for corruption and show people that yes, I'm fighting for corruption. So they are not entitled to travel until when they finish their case in the court. That is what federal government is doing. Don't misquote federal government. Who are you expecting on the list? Anybody that is VIP, they know themselves, but federal government will give them their name. I'm not the one to introduce them to the federal government. It's not my key to introduce them. Federal government know them. Then when you bring the list, everybody will know. But before you travel out of the country, finish your case, because you may go to the other country and we are not have access to withdraw you back. How can you finish your case? You have a money laundering, you have a case with the FCC, which is very important. You are not entitled to go anywhere. Stay at large and finish your case in the court. But I pray, let judge do their work well without collecting bribe, so that they can finish their case in time. Let them go and call their lawyer, tell their judge, so that they can be able to do their case fast. That's how it's supposed to be, number one. Not only 50, they are more than 1 million. If he makes well, we know Buhari is a good man, but people surrounded him, they are not sincere. The power that put him in that presidency, they are not sincere. He wanted to go do for Nigeria. What about people that put him there? He can never go against them. That's godfatherism in Nigeria we are talking about. That's my opinion. Many people still there. Even more than 1 million, they should not go out of this country. Even though they see, they then carry them to General Hospital at Ikeja. They are putting billions of naira in a hospital at Abuja. When Buhari himself was sick, he was flying to London. That's not how it's supposed to be. Let them remain here. Many people are dying here. Let them face it so that they put that hospital in order. Not that they put this thing because I put those who should not travel. Before you know, many of them don't travel out. It is good because some people they go there to to launder Nigeria's money. Mention JC Bogi. Mention for former Bayelsa State governor and minister of blessed memory, who is dead. So those people, they are going there to launder Nigeria's money. So what about? So my opinion is that such people should not be allowed to travel out of Nigeria, because the money that are overseas, that they should be used for developmental projects, they are not doing it. So I think the measure is very good.
It's very selective, because I think the 50 that were selected, if so to say, they were not the only one, and I think the government to say, I've not been I'm a supporter of Buhari before, but when I see that the fight against corruption is selective, it's like fighting opposition, I started pulling out from the support I have for him. It's very, very selective. I think that is not the way to go about it. They have other ways of getting people who are corrupt and knowing how to handle them, especially the judiciary. If you know that somebody is corrupt, charge them to court. There's no need. Most of their traveling documents have been seized. Why making it public? I think it's political. Thank you.
Says that for federal government to ban such or to carry out such an act is wrong, because ever since the inception of this country, so many of our past leaders have a corrupted list, of which there was no one that was banned not to travel out to any country he or she chooses. But what I will say is the president and the aides should come together and have a rethink of such acts, because telling the prominent Nigerians not to travel is uncalled for, because even them in the government that are still embezzling the economic's wealth travels at same will. So I would like them to sit down and have a rethink of their act. Thank you.
It is actually good that they were being stopped from traveling out, pending when the investigation will finish. If actually they are innocent of the offense, I believe they will be given their freedom. There is freedom of movement, freedom of expression. The freedom of movement can be restricted under certain opinion. Reason why your freedom is being restricted when you have committed offense or you have overbound your boundary. So I will not blame President Muhammadu Buhari from stopping the 50 people in the list of the corruption, not traveling abroad or not moving anywhere. So that is all.
Please subscribe.